My friends, I'm getting all these letters and comments from people, and all these people are telling me these sob stories about how they went to the Philippines. Typically they met a girl, somehow they got taken advantage of, and they have very hard feelings towards Filipinos. And I haven't had these same experiences. Even in one of my videos, I commented about how a lot of people seem to write and they say they'll go out to lunch or dinner with Filipinos and then they're expected to pick up the check for everyone. And I stated I haven't had that experience. In fact, I've had quite the opposite. There's been so many times when I've went out with Filipinos and they ended up paying, and mentioning that, people would say, "Oh, Travis, you're a liar, you're making that up," or they just did it because they have an ulterior motive and there's something else they want in return. I really haven't had the experience of getting taken advantage of, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I believe these guys that say all this. I know it happens to a lot of guys, but I also believe that there's two reasons why I haven't had these experiences. And for the first reason, I know this is not something a lot of you guys want to hear, but you got to hang out with a better class of people. A lot of people, they come to the Philippines and they just go places like Burgos Street, or they go to the bars in Angeles City, and they think that everyone's a user and opportunistic and low class. Well, I can tell you this. There's a whole world in the Philippines that these guys haven't seen. There's a whole world of upper class, upper society people that they're not even aware of. People that have lots of money, people that are very well behaved, people that are not looking just to take advantage of a guy visiting the country. Now, of course, a lot of the reason I got in with this world was because of my profession. Being a model and being a TV personality opened up a lot of opportunities to be around with these people. And it's not something that someone that just comes over as a tourist is probably just going to find themselves in the world of. But you can still get in with this upper class of people. But there's a couple things you need to know. First of all, you're going to have to go places where the high class people go. You can't go to the typical tourist places. You can't go to the sleazy places. You got to go wherever these people hang out. And then the other catch is you have to put off a vibe yourself that you're the type of person that they would want to associate with, which a lot of that is how you behave, how you carry yourself, how you treat people. And the second reason that I believe that I haven't had these bad experiences of getting taken advantage of and getting used for money is because even if I find myself around people that are opportunistic, I put off a vibe and an aura that lets people know I'm not going to give out money. And people are a lot more perceptive than you think they are. And I'll tell you something, the most perceptive people are the people that are opportunistic because they're looking for their opening. Now, I'm not saying that you got to walk around with a scowl on your face or you have to be an unfriendly person. I'm not saying that at all. But if you have a very stern belief that you're not going to give people money, other people will read it, and they're probably not even going to bother approaching you because they realize it would be a waste of their time. Now, I want to be very clear that I'm talking about opportunistic user people. I'm not talking about poor people, because there's a lot of poor people in the Philippines that are very honest people and they're not looking to take advantage of you in any way. I'm talking about the people that are opportunistic. They're looking for your kiliti in Filipino, which is like your tickle point, your weakness. Now, these are two good tips that don't just apply to being in the Philippines or being in a poor country. These are tips that wherever you are in the world, I think that you should always be trying to associate with as good of people as you can, because whatever's good about them, I think is going to rub off on you. And you should also put out the right type of vibe. And put out a friendly vibe, but don't put out one like people can walk all over you. Now, I want you guys to understand that I'm not telling you to be cheap with people or take advantage of people, because I believe if someone's giving you what you want, you should give them what they want. And a lot of guys I see complaining are old guys that went to the Philippines, hooked up with a young 20-something babe, and then they complained, well, she only wanted me for my money. Well, you only wanted her for her looks and her body. You were using her for that. Maybe she was using you for money, but so what? If someone that's out of your league in terms of the looks department is hooking up with you, well, then give them what they want. Maybe they want money. Maybe they want to be taken out and treated. They're giving you what you want, making you happy. Just make them happy. Don't be stingy. And it's the same thing if you go get your hair cut or you go get a massage. If they do a good job for you, give them a good tip. So I'm not saying don't ever give money to people. I'm saying don't do it if you don't want to. Don't ever let anyone pressure you into doing things you don't want to do. And people ask me about how to stay safe in the Philippines. My #1 tip would be don't let people pressure you into doing something that you don't feel comfortable with. Now I know a lot of people won't take this advice, but my philosophy is if it helps out even just one person, it was all worth it. So just keep it in mind, and I hope you're that person.
Be sure to check out our other videos, and if you're not yet subscribed, subscribe now.